Hey, welcome to Barn Tech. We're back in the barn today with my son's 2010 Dodge Ram. It's acting like it jumped timing, so today we're going to figure out what's going on and what it's going to take to fix it. Okay, that's not good. So my son called me the other day and said his truck was broke, and I went to go help him with it. And I turned the key and it actually started, but it was running terrible. I hit the gas, I heard a clunk, and the engine stopped and the starter wouldn't turn it over anymore. And now I see that the crankshaft was stuck, but it will turn backwards. So let's see if we get a full turn or if it stops in that same spot. Oh, nope. All right. The crankshaft is hitting something hard. Okay, so that's sort of confirming my theory so far. Let's pull some spark plugs and look at those. All right, we got all the spark plugs right here. If you look at them closely, what you'll notice, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, number 2, looks like the electrode has been bent. It's not straight like the others here. So let's stick a camera in number 2 and see if we can see anything going on in there. Oh boy. I see what looks like chunks of aluminum on top of the piston. Looks like, yep. Alright, so I can't see from this angle if if one of the valves is hitting the piston right now. It won't go up any further though. Let's see what happens if I can turn the crankshaft a little bit. Yeah, that was as high as it would go. Let the crankshaft down a little, and well, it's not pretty. See that chunk? There's several chunks, it looks like, right there. That almost looks like a crack. Probably is a crack. Might be where a valve hit. There's a big chunk there. That's probably what's stopping the piston from going up any further. Well, that's about all I need to see to know that this engine's dead. I'm going to go ahead and pull the engine out, and then we'll pull it apart and see if we can confirm what I think's happened in there. Well, I just got a huge clue what's going on with this engine. Check this out, what I just found. See the top of this valve? There's the rocker arm. That ain't good. So I see metal shavings on top of the valve. I see some scratches on the cam lobe here. That was probably just from it beating around a little bit when it came off. One thing though that I was not expecting, I set the number 1 cylinder to top dead center. I've got my my dot facing toward the crankshaft. So this cam did not jump timing. I assumed it jumped timing, and that's what caused all my problems. We're gonna have to pull this head next And obviously this head's trash. And we'll try to figure out why this rocker arm came off. See what we got here. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Wow. Well, here's what happened. Looks like the intake valve seat in cylinder number 2 broke and rattled around in the cylinder for a while, took a bunch of chunks out of the head, and finally got lodged in the valve. That's what made the rocker arm come loose. I can see another piece over here. It's not lit very well, but there's another broken piece over on that side. So the head is definitely trash. Now let's look in the cylinder and see how bad the cylinder's damaged. All right, there we go. See a moon shape here. That's where a valve hit the piston. Here's some chunks of something that are embedded into the piston. So lots of stuff slapping around. Yep, stuff embedded in the other end of the piston. There's a chunk that was in there. It's kind of crazy though. I still see crosshatch on the cylinder, and it doesn't look like the cylinder's actually damaged. I don't feel. Oh, there's a little scoring right here. It looks like the intake valve seat broke, and that caused a chain reaction here. But let's get the valve off of here. Let's see if we can figure out exactly what happened. Put that all together. Yep. There's my valve seat right there. I was reading a few days ago about worry. It's an appropriate topic if your truck engine's about to break. Jesus said, "Which of you by worrying can add a single hour to your life? If you can't do this very simple thing, why worry about the rest?" Well, I only see half the valve seat here, so the other half must have been sucked through the engine, beat around in there, and may have even gone out the exhaust port. So we know what happened here. I'm not sure what caused the valve seat to fail. My guess, it was, I think, like 18 degrees when my son went to drive home from work. So it was probably, I don't know, maybe it just got brittle because it was cold. If you know what causes valve seats to fail like that, post it in the comments for me. Over, but the crying now. Well, I'm swapping the accessories out now. I'm working on the motor mounts. The engine came out of a Dakota, and so it's got a different style of motor mounts. I already pulled the cooling fan off. The Dakota has a mechanical fan. I'm going to check the exhaust manifolds in a bit, but it looks like the majority of the engine is exactly the same between the Ram and the Dakota, except maybe a handful of accessories. So I'm going to swap those out and we'll drop this engine in the truck. Well, there's still a ton to do, but at least I've got the engine sitting in the engine bay now. Well, I'm putting on the finishing touches to get this engine put in. In just a moment, we'll put some oil in it, put some antifreeze in it, and we'll see what happens. The guy I bought it from said it's got 110,000 miles and that it was running great when the truck crashed. So, should be good. We'll find out here in a little bit. Well, here we are. Got the new engine installed. Let's turn the key and see what happens. Actually, I think I'm going to turn the key on and off a few times to prime the fuel. There's 2 times. I'm going to do one more time on the key and then I'll twist it to start. Okay, here we go. Hey, that's all right. I hear a little bit of injector noise. That's totally normal. It does look like it's running a little bit rough though. All right, got a little bit of bad news here. Looks like a check engine light's on with this new engine. We'll give it a minute, see if we can figure out what that's all about. Hear how rough that's running? That lope to the engine. Check this out. You guys know what that means, right? Bubbles coming out. Let's come on down here and see. It's been running for about 5 minutes and it hasn't stopped putting condensate out the tailpipe. We all know what that means, right? Blown head gasket. So the new engine is a little better than the old engine, but it is not a good running engine like the guy told me when I bought it. So it's unfortunate because I bought it from a place that's about 3 hours from here, about 3.5 hours. So it's going to be a 7-hour round trip to take the engine back. And who knows if he's going to give me my $1,500 back or if he's going to give me a new engine or what's going to happen. But clearly this engine's no good. Somebody told me a lie. And well, you live and learn. We'll figure out what we're going to do from here, and I'll be back in just a moment with that decision. On that Dakota engine, I just had to change the engine mounts. But on this Jeep engine, it looks like I'm going to have to change the exhaust manifolds too. Just subtle differences between the installations and accessories. The basic engine is all the same though. All right, well here we are, second go around. Got another new engine. Let's see how this one works. Well, other than that little bit of power steering noise when it first started up, this is already sounding much better than the last engine. The last engine had a serious shake to it right about now. Alright, the engine looks like it's running pretty good. Doesn't seem to have a misfire now. I don't see anything dripping on the ground. That's good. Let's check and see if the check engine light's off. All right, no check engine light. That's good. Now, the last little thing, let's look at the exhaust. All right. Yeah, that other engine, even after about 5 minutes, it was still blowing white smoke out of the exhaust. So I think we got a good engine now. I don't know why my test drives are always at night, but the truck seems to be running good. The engine's running good, air conditioner works, everything's working as it should. So we're gonna wrap this one up right here. Thanks for watching. God bless.